The heavy oak doors of Sanders Theater swing open. It is June 1975. The room is packed. 2,000 people are squeezed into a space meant for 1,000. But these aren't boxing fans. There is no smell of stale beer or cheap cigars here. There is only the smell of old books, polished wood, and intellectual superiority. This is Harvard University, the oldest, most prestigious institution in America. The people in this room are the future presidents, the future CEOs, the Supreme Court justices, the smartest people in the country. And walking onto the stage is a man who graduated 376th out of 391 students in his high school class. A man with a D- average. A man who makes his living getting punched in the face. Muhammad Ali walks to the podium. He looks out at the sea of geniuses. What happens in the next hour won't just be a speech. It will be a confrontation. A battle between book smarts and street wisdom. And it will end with the shortest, most powerful poem ever delivered in the English language. 2 words that will silence the smartest room in the world. This is the untold story of the day Muhammad Ali took on Harvard. It is 1975. Muhammad Ali is 33 years old. He is sitting on top of the world. Just months ago, he did the impossible in Zaire. He knocked out George Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle, regaining his heavyweight championship against all odds. Physically, he is the king. But intellectually, the world still doubts him. America in 1975 is a divided place, and Harvard is the fortress of the establishment. The students here study philosophy, law, and physics. They analyze the world through textbooks and theories. To them, Ali is a celebrity, an entertainer, a physical specimen. Ali knows this. He knows they don't see him as an equal. They see him as a curiosity, a gladiator invited to entertain the philosophers. He isn't here for money. He isn't here to box. He is here because he has something to prove. Not with his fists, but with his mind. Protagonist, Ali, stands at the podium. He isn't wearing boxing trunks. He is wearing a sharp, tailored suit. He looks impeccable, handsome, radiating an energy that fills the massive hall. His eyes scan the room. He sees the skepticism. He sees the arrogance. But he doesn't look intimidated. He looks amused. He leans against the podium with the casual grace of a man who knows something the audience doesn't. He isn't trying to be one of them. He is unapologetically himself. Section B. The antagonist. The antagonist in this story isn't a single person. It is the room itself. The crowd. 2,000 of the brightest young minds in the world. They are the class of 1975. They are young, mostly wealthy, and incredibly educated. They have spent years reading Plato, Aristotle, and Shakespeare. They value logic. They value citations. They value complex vocabulary. In their world, intelligence is measured by degrees, by grades, by how many big words you can use in a sentence. They look at Ali, and they see a man who speaks in rhymes and broken grammar. They respect his fame, sure. They respect his money, but they don't respect his mind. Not yet. You can feel it in the air. A collective smirk. A silent question hanging over the auditorium. What can this boxer possibly teach us? Ali begins to speak, and immediately the dynamic shifts. He doesn't give a formal lecture. He starts sparring, verbal sparring. A student shouts from the balcony, trying to catch Ali off guard. Ali, why are you so arrogant? The room goes quiet. It's a trap. A question designed to make him look foolish. Ali doesn't blink. He leans into the microphone and says, "It's hard to be humble when you're as great as I am." The room explodes with laughter. But it's not mocking laughter anymore. It's surprised laughter. Then another student challenges him. Ali, what's your strategy for life? Ali looks at the student. He sees a young man who has probably never been in a real fight, who has never been hungry, who has never been oppressed. Ali says, "I never thought of losing, but now that it's happened, the only thing is to do it right. That's my obligation to all the people who believe in me." We all have to take defeats in life. The laughter dies down. The students lean forward. This isn't the clown they expected. This is a man speaking about resilience. The tension rises. The students start trying harder to stump him. They throw complex political questions at him. Questions about Vietnam, about race, about religion. They are using their Harvard education to try and corner the boxer. But Ali is using his University of Life education to dance around them. He floats like a butterfly through their logic traps. He stings like a bee with his simple, cutting truths. The atmosphere changes. The smirk on the face of the collective antagonist begins to fade. They are realizing that this man is processing information faster than they are. Then it happens. The moment that will be remembered for decades. The Q&A is winding down. The energy in the room is electric. They have seen Ali the comedian, Ali the preacher, Ali the activist. A student near the front stands up. He wants one last piece of magic, one last performance. He shouts out, "Ali, give us a poem." The crowd cheers. They want the float like a butterfly lines. They want the entertainment. They want the monkey to dance. Ali stands very still at the podium. He looks at the student. He looks at the professors in the back. He looks at the 2,000 faces waiting for a rhyme. He raises his hand. Silence falls over Sanders Theater. Absolute silence. You can hear the dust settle. Ali doesn't take a breath. He doesn't wind up. He just looks them dead in the eye and delivers the shortest poem in the history of the English language. He says, "Me, we." Note, some hear it as me, we. We. But the interpretation of connection me, we became the legend. That's it. 2 syllables, 2 words. But the impact is like a physical blow. It travels through the room faster than a jab. It hits the students in the chest. Me, the individual, the ego, the success, the Harvard degree, the champion. We, the community, the connection, the responsibility, the brotherhood. In less than a second, Ali dismantles the entire philosophy of the Ivy League. These students have spent 4 years learning how to be me, how to be the best, how to be number one. Ali reminds them that me is nothing without we. For a split second, nobody moves. The brilliance of it hangs in the air, the complex simplicity, the genius of brevity. Then, the room erupts, not with polite applause, but with a roar, a standing ovation from the smartest people in America for a man who barely finished high school. Ali doesn't bow. He just smiles. He has just taught them the most important lesson of their education. And he didn't need a textbook to do it. He leans back into the mic and says, I didn't have the education you have. I didn't have the books, but I have the heart. He looks at the rows of students. You are the smartest people in the country, Ali says. But if you use that intelligence only for yourself, you are fools. He validates them first. You have the power to change the world with your minds. But then comes the pivot. But intelligence without wisdom is dangerous. You learn how to build bombs, but you don't learn why you shouldn't drop them. You learn how to make money, but you don't learn how to help the poor. The antagonist, the Harvard ego, has no answer, because logic cannot argue with truth. Facts cannot argue with wisdom. Ali bridges the gap. He shows them that a boxer from Louisville and a scholar from Harvard are part of the same human story. Me, we. Parentheses. Years pass. The students in that room graduate. They go on to become senators, CEOs, lawyers, writers. One of them is a young man named George Plimpton, a famous writer. He would later recount this story for the rest of his life. He would write about how Ali, in 2 words, summarized the entire human experience. Another student, who would become a prominent judge, kept a photo of Ali on his desk for 40 years. Not a photo of Ali boxing. A photo of Ali at Harvard. When asked why, he says, "Because that day I learned that a degree is just a piece of paper. Education is what you do with it." That tiny poem, Me, We, became legendary. It has been quoted in speeches, printed on t-shirts, and painted on walls. It became a symbol of unity. The seed Ali planted that day grew. He showed that you don't need to be an academic to be a philosopher. He showed that true genius is the ability to make the complex simple, to simplify the universe into 2 words. That is what happened in June 1975. Ali walked into the temple of knowledge and taught the high priests a lesson about life. He proved that there are 2 types of intelligence. There is the intelligence of the head, which separates things, analyzes them, and breaks them down. And there is the intelligence of the heart, which connects things, understands them, and brings them together. Harvard had the head. Ali had the heart. And now, I have to ask you, what kind of intelligence are you chasing? Are you collecting degrees, titles, and accolades to build up your me? Or are you building connections, empathy, and community to strengthen the we? Who have you dismissed because they didn't have the right credentials? Who have you ignored because they didn't speak your language? Because Muhammad Ali showed us that sometimes the most profound wisdom comes from the most unexpected places. It takes a smart man to speak for an hour and say nothing. It takes a wise man to speak for 1 second and explain everything. Me, we.